What's up, podcast listeners? This is another podcast episode where I'm filming with my phone, and this time I figured out a better way to wedge my phone into a crevice of my car. So I have it set up on my tripod, and it's inside my glove box, and I think one, it's a lot better, and two, I realized that the iPhone has these earbuds that I'm wearing right now that also can record. So there you go. I can do another episode with better quality audio, because the last one when I listened to it, you could like literally hear everything in my car. But anyway, we're gonna do another car edition of Cut to Shake Get Fit, and hopefully I can ramble on about some good stuff to get you guys going for the week. And what I want to talk about, actually before that, last time when I did one of these, I wasn't able to do shout outs, but before I got into my car I looked quickly, but the only downfall is I can't remember the cities, because the cities are a little bit complicated to pronounce, and there's no way in hell that I could remember how to pronounce them. But my top country, I can't remember the city's name, but the top country right now listening to my podcast is Germany. Shout out to everyone in Germany listening to my show. That's super awesome. And fun fact, one of the countries that bought my Ironclad Body Training System ebook is from Germany. I have a lot of people in Germany looking at my content and supporting me, so thank you guys so much. Number two, I actually remember the city. It's Melbourne in Australia. Shout out to everyone in Australia listening to my show. And number three is a city I can't pronounce and can't remember, but all the way in Spain. Shout out to everyone in Spain listening to my show. Super awesome. So, topic today, we got to talk about your mindset. Because I find a lot of times, and I've looked through kind of like a playback reel in my head of all the clients I've ever trained. And then I started like auditing which ones actually became successful. And there was one major like trend that every single client that was successful, met their goals, they had one characteristic like across the board, all the same. And they were ready for change. I believe I've spoken about this topic before, but I want to bring it back again. Like I think it's been like over a year, and you know, I hate repeating myself, but a lot of times when I get requests on topics to speak about, I've already spoken about it. So maybe like the second time, third time, fourth time I speak about the same thing, maybe I have a different way of saying it, maybe one word triggers you to finally understand, but you got to be ready for change. You got to have all your ducks in a row, and your mind has to be right. And that, honestly, I think is one of the secrets to success, because, you know, so many people get this motivation to like, oh yeah, this year, I'm like 2020 is coming up. It's going to be my year for, you know, fitness and health. I'm going to get everything like set. I'm going to do it this year, no more, you know, bitching and complaining, whatever. And then when they actually go put the steps necessary in, they fall off the wagon, things get crazy, and nothing ever happens. You know, like, I probably talked about this before. I had one client one time that she was super motivated. She's like, I have this goal of, I want to lose 40 pounds. I've been waiting long enough. I'm going to do it. I'm signing up with you for 12 months. Because for all the clients out there that I train online, they know that I only do 6 and 12-month packages, because I want real change. I want to build health and fitness into your lifestyle. So, you know, this was a couple of years ago, and it wasn't until like month 7 or 8 until this client decided that, okay, I'm going to actually put time and effort into it. You know, your mind can be telling you, hell yes, I'm going to lose weight, I'm going to get strong, I'm going to train for this marathon, but what else in your life is happening. You know, you might be one of those people that says yes to everything. Like, you could be one of those people that will never say no to anybody in your life. And then when it comes to yourself, you have no time for yourself. And this happens a lot more when you become a parent. Like, you have little people that you're in charge of to make sure they don't die. You need to feed them, you need to dress them, you got to take them to school, you got to take them to their sports, you got to do this, do that, do that, do that, do that. When does it ever stop for you? And then you end up running yourself into the ground. You're X amount of pounds overweight, you're tired every day, you're unhappy, you hate your job, and then you get to that, like, you know, bottom of the barrel, like, you're in the deep end, you're like, what the fuck just happened? How did I get here? And then you realize, okay, maybe I need to get my health in order, but there's this constant battle of back and forth of always seeing failure. Fitness and health success doesn't start by actually doing things that go towards your fitness and health that you think of. Because most people think, oh, I need to start going to the gym, and start eating healthy, I need to start sleeping more. Which are all great things, but they can't happen if everything else in your life that influences those three things don't change. So if you have kids, if you have a job that requires you to do more than 40 hours a week, if you have a relationship that's causing you stress and anxiety, maybe you're going through a divorce, maybe you're trying to sell your house, maybe you just lost your job, maybe you've been dealing with health issues for decades, maybe you've injured yourself. There's so many variables that have to be cleaned up first to actually see success. Like, clear up that kind of crap, like low-hanging fruit. That's what it is. You know, I love seeing people feeling motivated and wanting to change their health. But every single time I see these people that become clients of mine that end up quitting with me completely, they all fall in that same category of they have so much shit going on in their life that there's no chance in hell they can, you know, add on another thing. And this probably, I spoke about this like 3 years ago about, you know, the 4-burner analogy. If you think about your stovetop, on a typical stovetop, you have 4 burners. And that's going to represent 4 things in your life that you can actually give 100% and see success with. So what are your 4 things? Is it your family? Is it your job? Is it X, Y, and Z, right? Like, what is it? If you already have 4 things that you're giving your, you know, time and attention to, 100% effort into, what are the chances of you throwing another pot on there and hoping that what, you know, contents you put into that pot is actually going to cook? Like, you got to be really realistic with yourself, you know? This is where the mindset comes in. Like, if you're going to add another thing that's going to have a huge influence in your life, you're going to have to give something up. I'm not saying that you need to start neglecting your kids or your job. Just restructure things. Maybe audit your day and see where the gaps are. You know, I've done this a lot. Like, I've trained so many mothers that have had multiple kids. And I tell them all, like, again, I don't have kids, and I don't want to come across as like a fucking asshole that, oh, fuck you, Raph, you don't know anything, you don't have kids. But I've trained so many parents with their kids, and I always ask so many questions to get a better idea of what these parents are going through when it comes to their lives. And one common thing is, like, if the kids are at daycare, sleeping, or what have you, there's usually like 20 minutes where you can get something in. So I always tell new mothers have been struggling for a while, like, whenever you get that downtime, get in like a 20-minute movement workout, right? Those things happen. Those things will pop up. You just have to take advantage of it. Maybe you actually don't have anything like that. Maybe you need to literally ask for help, ask for relatives, friends, family to watch your kids for an hour so you can work out. So that's the other thing, the flip side. The mothers I've trained that literally overhauled their life and realized, I need to get my health in order to be, a strong, confident mother for my kids. And I used to train a mom with 5 children. It's fucking crazy. She made it a priority to work out 3 days a week. She just did whatever she could in order to get those 3 hours. And her life changed. Her health changed. She got strong. She got fit. It's amazing. But if you're going into it where you have so much shit going on in your life, so much shit, how are you supposed to add on another thing? Here's another good example. I used to train this woman. Her commute to work was 2 hours. On the way back is another 2 hours. And then on top of that, she worked at a law firm that, the community that was in there, it's you go above and beyond your 8 hours. So a lot of times it's she had these high expectations to lose a bunch of weight, but I'm none of that's going to happen until you clear up your stuff with work. Maybe that's a conversation you need to have, because I've had this conversation with clients before where maybe the thing that's holding you back is the stress that you're getting at work. 80% of our day is spent at our job. And maybe that's the thing that's causing you not to be successful. I've seen it in my career where clients literally quit their jobs to start their own business or, change careers. And that was the tipping point for them to finally be successful. Follow happiness. Don't follow dollars. There's been surveys done the last decade of people saying they would take a pay cut if they got better hours, better working conditions, better benefits, better anything. Sometimes you gotta look at yourself. I think honestly for this end of this year, I'm gonna challenge everyone listening to reflect on your own life. Are you actually happy right now? Because I've brought this topic up this past month. Happiness is the key to success. Are you happy in your home life? Are you happy at your job? Are you happy with what you're doing for your fitness? If it's a no for all 3, it's going to be really, really tough for you to be successful in all those 3 aspects in your life. I've seen it time and time again. I've had clients that realized that their partner was the worst person for them. They finally had the courage to change that, and all of a sudden their fitness goals were met. Their the overall personality changed. They were so happy. But you got to be willing to let go. Sometimes holding on so hard onto something because you're just not used to anything else can be doing more harm than good for your health, your soul, and just your overall being. We got to think outside the box. Health and fitness is such a small little facet of life, and the more I've been in this industry, the more I understand how people have this whole fitness and health thing so backwards. It doesn't matter about, I'm going to do this diet this time because that's what's going to get me successful. I'm going to do this type of workout. I'm going to do this thing. I'm going to do CrossFit. I'm going to do Orange Theory. I'm going to blah, 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 blah. All that shit can work, but it doesn't happen unless everything else in your life is you have your ducks in a row. Man, fuck, how did I get here? So this blows my mind how I get to these rants. Sometimes I start these episodes with I have no idea what I'm going to talk about. I have no idea if it's going to be any good for my listeners. I have no idea if anyone even fucking cares. But every time I have you guys add me on Facebook and I like reach out and ask like, you know, what episodes are the most helpful, and all of you say your solo episodes, and I'm like, God damn, like I've been interviewing all these like professionals in the industry that I look up to, and you guys think highly of me, which is like, it blows my mind. So like, thank you. But I'm going to end it there because I just got to my place, and really think, reflect on your life. Is everything where it should be? Is everything, you know, clean and tidy in order for you to take on the challenge for crushing your fitness and health goals? That's the big question. If it's not, you got some serious decisions to make, and, you know, reconstruct your life in order for your health and fitness goals to actually happen this time. So I'm going to leave it there. Thank you guys for listening to me ramble. Share this podcast. Share this video if you're watching. The good news, my sweater came in finally. It took freaking forever. I'll be posting a photo of how it looks, little review of how it feels maybe, and I'm going to set out a link to purchase it. Keep an eye out for my Black Friday sale for my Ironclad Body Training System, and I'm going to continue giving you the best fitness and health advice out there. Add me on Facebook, give me a 5-star review, check out my podcast on Spotify now. That's it for me. Oh damn, it's dark, and I love you guys. Thank you for listening and watching.